ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Forced out to his left. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Deshaun Hall in there to get him for a loss of 9. And that'll lead to 4th down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. The 30. The 20. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning out to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow things down.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver. On
3rd down, Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Texans have broken the tie.
Did you see them hold up four fingers to the start of the fourth quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The fourth quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The return man is Grant. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And he dumps it off to Blount. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Another costly turnover, their 2nd of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is, and let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing?
But
it's football. Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Down. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Okay, folks, we got 4. We got 4. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. to Miller. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
Here's a give to Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And it's taken in at the 9. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. He's back to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions are giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. He'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And this is caught. He hits more. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. They'll look to throw. Screen pass to Blunt. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Newton. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. That's now 3 turnovers in this second half. Very costly. And earlier in the half, Charles, when I asked you for your keys to the second half, you said, hey, maybe try it, but it's going to be turnovers. That's been the story.
It certainly has, but I didn't expect it to be this much of the story. I mean, when you're getting up to 3, you're really putting your team in jeopardy.
This is Miller. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build